minutes after 5 o'clock with your so-called host. Seems like an overcast day. Actually, it is an overcast day. You probably already knew that because, well, Mondays are usually overcast, especially today. What do you do when you get all this? Sad news on the headlines this past morning. When we woke up this morning, many found out last night. And just tragedy, especially in the media business here, with yours truly and so forth. Just want to start off today's show. A great loss there. It is official because in the afternoon hours to today, the 20th of August, the names were announced, with regards, of course, to the terrible accident that took place yesterday, right around this time, in the town of, well, I would assume Hounsfield, around 66, Route 62. And our deepest sympathies go out to the Freeman family and all, of course, the many, many friends and acquaintances of Heather. It was an awful, awful thing. And we know Heather, of course, being in this business, and through Bob, and we wish Bob a speedy recovery in all ways from this tragedy. So it just goes, look, there's so many things to worry about. You got to worry about Samantha. Sorry, that's awful. You got to worry about a lot of things. You got to worry about paying bills. Got to worry about getting your kids to school on time, soccer practice. But at any given time, just do yourself a favor. Look out. I mean, if you consider yourself a good driver like myself, and I've kidded around saying I'm a great driver, it doesn't really matter when someone else out there isn't a good driver. That's the main thing. If someone out there is driving with his head up, you know what, and it could cause tragedy. So there's so many things. I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe it's inherently written in our whatever our DNA that maybe some of us aren't going to make it past a certain time due to illness, due to heart disease, whichever. But if there is one thing we can control, and that is our actions on the road. Sometimes it's too late, like it happened yesterday. You could be the best, but someone going through a stop sign, a red light, just look out for those guys, and/or girls, and/or kids, whoever. Out-of-towners, unfamiliar with the intersection. Just even if it's a stop sign for someone else, just casually look both ways. You never know what can happen. Never, ever know what can happen. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're on the air. Can I help you?
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on? It's a Duffster.
I feel real bad. They're real nice people.
Well, they're great people. I mean, you don't want this to happen to anybody, any type of person.
Oh no, I know, but when you know people, you know what I mean. It's just really tough. That's a tough corner up there anyway.
It is. It's amazing. I've been talking to many people about it. It's obviously on everyone's mind, and everyone agrees that intersection plus several intersections on those county roads back there. But what do you do, Duffman? Do you make all of the intersections a four-way stop sign?
Well, that's what gets confusing because the one down the road a little ways further down
is the four-way stop sign.
Right. And I use that a lot because I bypass and go over that way if I'm heading out towards Dexter.
Sure. If you want, especially if you're riding a motorcycle, and with all the construction on Arsenal Street, that's the first thing you do. You go out on the county roads to bypass all that nonsense.
Well, yeah, and but I'm talking about where you turn there and then coming back. You'll take a left back on the Sulphur Springs.
Exactly. Yes.
Tough spot there, it really is. And if you're coming the other way too, it's even worse.
Yeah, and there's other intersections that the one near Old Military Road on Route 12. That's a bad intersection. Someone was
here in Spring Valley in that they've tried to fix that one, and in front of the cemetery there. That's a tough one too. We're on the roads at our own risk, but at the same time, but there was no bad conditions. I don't know. Just bad things happen in bunches, and I just hope that we can all learn from something like this because, my goodness, it's a horrible, tragic loss. Yeah, well, I mean, it was an accident all the way around, and one at that. And there's a lot of people because they were so well known that there's a lot of people that are really down in the dumps today and really affected by it.
Well, the youth factor.
Well, that too, but there were a couple everybody knew. I mean, everybody knew them.
The big name.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just because, if you're around and stuff, I mean, I see them all the time.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I mean, big name, I mean, they're very well known.
But I would call a power couple.
No, you would call a power couple?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Oh, she worked at a good job. And had his business, and you know what I mean. And they were the greatest people if you sit and talk to them, and
You know, I was at a party with him a month ago, if not even that long ago, a graduation party. And we're all sitting around the fire talking, and, you know, he's just...
Yeah.
Who knew, you know?
And who knows is right.
Built a house right down the street here.
Yeah. Beautiful home, and they just moved in there. I mean, again, it's just you know, what I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say with that.
No, you don't. And his father and I were good friends. I mean, knew his father real well. And
yeah, and if I'm not, yeah, and that was tragic too, not too long ago.
Dad used to drive bus too, you know, when he was home from college and college break and stuff.
Yeah, it's awful.
Home for his dad, but yeah, it's just a.
I mean, you know, again, can anything be taken from this? Well, you know, I wish it never happened.
Well, he was a careful driver. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I talked to people that came onto the scene right afterwards and told me, you know.
But okay.
Yeah, and.
Well, there's not much you could do when someone is, you know, from the looks of it, at least, is, you know, there's nothing you could do. I mean, it's just one of those things. A bad timing, you know, obviously. How close?
He went through the stop sign. It was just.
And the other guy went through the stop sign.
Other people in the car did, so.
How many times have you been in a close call? Or how many times have you been in an accident where if it was a second or two earlier or later, you know, it would have been tragic results?
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've all been there, whether we even know it or not.